obrigado, presidente Pabovo. Eu agora quero passar a palavra ao primeiro-ministro da República Árabe do Egito, senhor Mustafa Mabuli.
Your Excellency Lula da Silva, President of the Federative Republic of Brazil, honorable heads of states and government, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I wish to thank the Brazilian presidency of BRICS for choosing the topic of this session. Also, I wish to welcome the Leaders' Framework Declaration on Climate Finance, as well as to congratulate Brazil on assuming the presidency of COP30. The Egyptian presidency of COP27 has exerted all efforts to achieve tangible and effective progress in all areas of climate action, particularly regarding just transition, the critical role of multilateral development banks in financing climate action, and above all, the establishment of the Loss and Damage Fund. Egypt reiterated its commitment to achieve the objectives and goals of the UNFCCC and its Paris Agreement, based on the Rio principles, especially the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities. However, we are concerned about the clear lack of commitment by developed countries to provide the necessary financing and other means of implementations to achieve the level of ambition included in the nationally determined contributions, NDCs, submitted by our developing countries. I wish to highlight that the needs of developing countries to implement their NDCs by 2030 is approximately 5.9 trillion US dollar, while the goal of the 100 billion US dollar annually was not met. Moreover, the cost of adaptation for developing countries ranges between 140 to 300 billion US dollar annually. The provision of the necessary means of implementation to developing countries, especially concessional financing and technology transfer, is the cornerstone of our joint international efforts on these important issues. We are confident in the capable diplomacy of Brazil to lead our work in COP30 while prioritizing the needs of developing countries who should not be forced to choose between climate action and their efforts to eradicate poverty and achieve sustainable development. Excellencies, over the past years, Egypt paid considerable attention to developing its healthcare system and medical services. This was demonstrated by the increased national spending on the health sector, while formulating a comprehensive vision to raise efficiency of healthcare, developing the health infrastructure, and expanding the implementation of the universal health insurance system. In addition, we launched a number of initiatives targeting all sectors of society, including women and children, most notably Decent Life initiatives and 100 Million Health initiative, as well as providing treatment for 4.6 million citizens as part of our initiative to eradicate hepatitis C and the detection of non-communicable diseases. Health is one of the most important sectors where we can enhance our cooperation and coordinate our positions in the various multilateral fora. We should build on the historic adaptation of the UN agreement on pandemics while benefiting from the lesson learned during the COVID-19 pandemic, particularly through capacity building and technology transfer to developing countries, while reaffirming the central role of the WHO in this respect. We could also enhance our cooperation, most notably the implementation of joint researches and innovation program related to vaccine development and production, disease allocation, and addressing non-communicable diseases. We also acknowledge the important role of the private sector in our joint efforts and in investing in health systems in our countries. We should also emphasize the important role of the BRICS Vaccine Research and Development Center to advance our joint endeavor. In conclusion, Egypt stands ready to enhance our cooperation on these important matters. I thank you.